Um, what I find so strange is that, which is really weird though. I mean, it's amazing because it's all fan funded until you become a partner, and even then, it's
Mm.
still fan funded. Because like every single cent I've made from Twitch and every other affiliate has made has been from someone else being charitable and generous and gifting.
A community.
Yeah,
It all comes back to the community.
that's right.
I mean, I am like a third party in this, but like I'm so well aware that you wouldn't be where you are without all the people that watch you, whether it's like religiously watch you or whether it's the people that just come in every now and again. Without those people, you are like nothing.
That's
basically.
it. And I think people that get instant fame need to realize that it's not numbers. You're not talking to numbers. You're talking to people, and you have to respect the people that like help you get where you are.
Yeah, it's a team thing.
That's right. That's right.
Yeah, I think somewhere around the order of 50,000-ish average channels streaming on Twitch.
Wow.
Wow.
So that's for context on the money side of things. I'd have to look up some of the other data, but there's a lot of like if you look at the average number of followers and that sort of thing, it's significantly larger than you'd first expect.
Yeah.
And I think what makes Twitch so good is that it's a first like I suppose if your goal in life is to become an influencer and that's like your thing, and
No.
even though it sounds like a bad goal, twitching to be Twitch stream is probably the best step to start because YouTube is trying to prevent people from growing careers.
Yeah, I don't know. That's a hard question, I think.
That's me making a stab in the dark, but it to me seems
I feel like monetary for the time you put in YouTube's probably still better.
Yeah, I would agree.
Know, like,
and unless you're you get that overnight growth.
I have to look, but the problem with YouTube, like you're seeing such like orders of magnitude of people with tiny channels.
Yeah.
Versus large channels, but even then the larger channels, I mean the income you can generate from it. I mean, look at Social Blade and just have a look at like the estimated earnings.
But it's like
it obviously depends on things like the click through rate and that sort of stuff. But
I watched video the other day about it was a girl, it was like a story time kind of thing, and she was saying like the title was like how I changed for money, but she was talking about, she was like, people message you and like brands message you and they're like, hey, I'm going to give you $6,000 for 2 Instagram posts. Like how that is so.
That's obviously like the
big ones. Yeah. Oh yeah.
So
I mean, she's got just around 1 million. She's just recently hit 1 million.
Yeah, this is ridiculous.
But like, which I mean, yes, that's a lot of people, but like in the YouTube world, it's kind of middle ground.
Yeah.
So can you imagine what the people with 10, 16, 15, like 20 million people are earning?
That's what I'm
like
saying.
$6,000 for 2 posts. That's so much money.
That's what I was saying with Sozo the other day. Is that like you're looking at people with 1 million subs on YouTube and they're driving around in Land Rovers. I don't care about their tax. They're still driving around Land Rovers and saying that they get paid $6,000 for a thing. Then you compare it to like people with 10 million subs and whatever.
Yeah.
Like it's not all about money. The bottom line is not about money. I mean, it's
no. But then if you look at say someone that's got, I don't know the best comparison because I know that like subscribers are like followers on Twitch, right? Because like subscribing on YouTube is free, whereas and following on Twitch is free, but subscribing you have to pay for on Twitch, right? So if you have 1 million followers, I don't think you'd get that same opportunity on the money side of things. Like I don't, if you've only got
the per view sort of thing. I mean, you'd have to look at how many.
I'll tell you when I get there.
And how many people?
I mean, you can
from your
sort
Twitch
of guess it from the emotes side of things, but because even Lufu's got like a few thousand subscribers on Twitch.
But how does that carry over? Like if you've got 1 million followers, how many of those people are then looking at your Twitter, your Instagram, or any other channels that you've got? Because if somebody like brands pay
I'm not the person
YouTubers,
to answer that,
yeah, but people pay like YouTubers to do Instagram posts. They pay YouTubers to make Instagram stories about things and Snapchat stories about things, but that's not YouTube. Whereas with Twitch, I feel like
But that's
That's less
influence.
common.
That's
Yeah.
an opportunity for advertising.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
advertising
That's what that is,
influence.
yeah.
Yes.
And I don't, I can't, I
And
take
it is work to
Oh, absolutely.
work up the Instagram and to work up the Twitter.
Absolutely
and
it
that
is.
sort of thing.
Yeah.
That is work on top of streaming.
Yeah.
One of our close friends, Kate, is on Twitch.
Kate with 1,000 A's.
5 A's.
5 A's, yeah.
5 A's. Kate with 5 A's. If
Yeah.
anyone's not following her, do recommend. She's a lovely girl. She's like, she puts a lot of effort into her Instagram, and it like, I think Kiri was just saying, like, I've said several times, like, that her Instagram game is on point, and it really is. Like, she is putting a lot of effort into it. You can really tell just by looking at it.
I think,
seeing
and
the community response to it.
Yeah.
once you're in this kind of space, I mean, we're like super, super small on YouTube and like and Instagram and all of that kind of stuff. And Rags is like pretty good on Twitch, but I have no concept of that. But like, even just coming from my perspective, you can see how much work you learn to appreciate that kind of thing a
Yeah.
whole lot more. Like, I'm not sure how, because I look at you on your Twitch, or I look at you watching other people stream, and I look at it and I'm like, yes, that takes work, that takes like all these things. Whereas I wonder about people that have never streamed in their life, never done anything like that in their life. They just go about a quote
Yeah.
normal life.
There's kind
How
of,
do they appreciate it? Do they
there's-
see all that?
I don't know. It's really funny. It's funny and sad at the same time. You see people that go, "Oh, this person's Twitch streaming. Someone donated him 10 bits. I could do that." And then they do it, and they do it for like a week. They don't get affiliated, and then they stop.
Mm.
And it's like we've discussed before, and it's a common theme that like you can't compare yourself to other people. And if you love streaming and you love playing games, do it. But if you're doing it for money, you're not gonna find that instant gratification, and you're going to stop doing it straight away. And that's
I guess
kind
it
of,
sort of depends what you're wanting to get out
Yeah.
of it. Like, I know I've got another friend who's got a channel that they don't even do anything for anymore. Like, they've just basically outsourced the editing and that sort of thing.
Mm.
And they just basically run it as a business. And that's so one way to approach it if they're content doing that.
Mhm.
But like, some people I know do, obviously, like, you have people that would go and want to say, well, I want to be famous, sort of thing. But whether like the internet is a good approach to doing that, I mean,
Probably
I
not.
guess I guess people have managed to do that. But
yeah.
I don't know. I don't really.
I guess that comes back to what we were talking about, like right at the beginning, with like you doing the data science for something that you're genuinely interested in.
Yeah.
If you go into Twitch just wanting to get money, just wanting to get big,
Yeah.
you're not going to go that far. You're like not going to enjoy it as much. Whereas if you go in being like, I love games, I love streaming, and I love the community, it's easy. It's going to be good for you, and it's going to be rewarding. It's exactly like the data stuff. If you care about what you're finding the data on, if you care about what you're researching into, it's going to be way easier to solve those problems, and you're going to feel much more rewarded
Yeah.
when you solve the problem.
Yeah.
right?
That's. I mean.
Well, there's things that I guess if you're wanting to look at, say, if people wanting to get big on Twitch, for example, the biggest thing you can do is literally just stream as many hours as possible,
Mhm.
because your followers per hour is going to, like, it
Yeah.
might be half of someone who, like, I mean, I streamed, like, I think I last streamed a week ago,
Yeah.
which is I feel really bad about,
Me too.
because I don't like leaving people to wait a week. But if I was wanting to farm followers or something, I just stream every single day.
Yeah.
And but that's not something that I personally enjoy.
It's not sustainable.
Is streaming every day. And it's not something that I'd consider sustainable, and it's not something I'm not doing this to have a career streaming. It's
Yeah.
just sort of a casual thing I do on the side, because I like that community aspect. I like,
Yeah.
I guess, giving back as well, and sort of having that nice feeling from making people happy.
Yeah, that's a big thing. That's for me. Like, I've always told myself, like, I've always wanted to be a part of community. I've always wanted to, like, be a friend with everyone. I mean, obviously I can't be friends with everyone, because how can you be friends with billions of people? But like, I've always, you could say, speak on my behalf and say that I'm a friendly person, a loyal person. So,
Yeah, Rags will talk to anyone. He'll try to get along with anyone.
and that's not me going, hey, I'm gonna get favors out of you, or
No.
you're gonna like give me a monetary
There are
benefit.
people like that on Twitch.
Oh, of
though.
Yeah,
course.
definitely.
There's people like that everywhere. This damn fly.
I'm not gonna
Yeah.
name names, but there's people that I've
Yeah.
very
And
much found a
that
quite
would
clout farming.
Yeah, and that would destroy me because like if someone was to compare me like that, I'd cry. Because that's
I mean,
not
people
who I
can
am.
misinterpret that sort of thing.
Yeah.
Like, it's just, and I guess once like you'd have bigger streamers who are more wary of that, I guess.
Yeah.
Of
And are
course.
sort of concerned about people like only hanging around for that purpose.
Yeah.
But,
Like
I
I've
mean, I can
known you.
understand that. Like,
Yeah. I've known you for 5 years now, right? And so that would put some sort of bias on me, of course. And obviously we're in a relationship, so I have a different opinion of you than what maybe someone who's just met you would have. But the thing that strikes me, how I can tell that you're very genuine about it, because like way back when, and I used to not be as involved in your streaming, I was like, yeah, okay, he's streaming, I don't know what's going on. But you would finish a stream and you'd have had a bad day or something, or you'd be upset, and you would talk to me about it, and you'd be like, I don't know, I feel really bad, like I was really angry on that stream, or like I was yelling and I was upset and I feel bad for that stream, I feel like I shouldn't have done that. And like, I don't know, if people like actually were just trying to get things out of people, get favors out of people, they wouldn't come away from a stream and tell someone totally unrelated that like they felt bad for being rude or for being angry or for yelling, because they wouldn't care. They'd be like, whatever, people are still going to come back.
Yeah, they're just followers. Like they still follow me in the end of the day.
You like,
I don't think people with that approach tend to end up doing terribly well, because it's
no, of course not.
I don't think people recognise that people like. I mean, I'd use the example of the phrase clout farming, which people use, and just saying like, oh, if you wanted to farm followers, but that doesn't actually mean anything. Like having X number of followers is not. Like,
yeah.
I mean, like you always come away from a stream as if you've just been hanging out with your friends for a couple hours.
And that's exactly what it is.
And you're like, oh, you tell me like, oh, my stream was so good. Like this person was here and they donated this much and they were talking to me the whole time and it was so awesome and blah, blah, blah. And like, yeah, you're sad when the stream goes badly, not from a numbers point of view, but from like a perspective. If you're like, oh, I feel bad because I was losing, so I was upset. And like people don't want to watch that because I know that that's shitty. And I think that's how I can tell that you're very genuine about what you do, and that you love the streaming and you love the community. Yeah. You don't love the idea of, I mean, of course you love the idea of making a lot of money from something, but you like, that's not your main intent. Yeah. I mean,
it's a byproduct as opposed to being the sole intent of the purpose of what I'm doing. That's really how I'm taking that same approach to podcasts, because I really love chatting with people, and this is a direct 1-to-1 mix here, so it's a 2-to-1. But it's trying to build relationships and become friends with people and have conversations with people because I'm curious.
Yeah.
I'm that sort of person. I mean, I'm not gonna ask you, but I'm that sort of person that would be there like, oh, how much do you make? Like, not out of
just completely shameless.
I'm shameless. Like, it's not because like I'm trying to figure out.
Yeah, just out of curiosity.
Out of curiosity, and because, like I said before, it's like putting pieces in my head and like trying to make like crunch, like not algorithms, but like crunch different math problems in my head.
Solve the problem.
Yeah.
Ask why.
Yeah.
For everything. Yeah. So, but I think
the pleasure of finding things out.
Yeah.
Exactly. We like talked about this in the teaser episode for the podcast, but it's essentially what you wanted to do was like kind of bridge that gap. So like, Altari, your followers can now come and watch this and listen to this and get to know you, a different side of you than the one like that they just see on the stream. And that's that Twitch community, is knowing people.
People pop in like Boppy.
Yeah.
That's it.
I did share the thing actually in my Discord. I don't know. I think Boppy's the only one who's popped in, but
it's
Hi,
like
Boppy,
it's bridging that gap, and it's keeping and creating that community that you've already got on your stream.
Yeah.
And that's what you wanted to do.